Royal Rants, the Yacht Girl, Defense. Hello and welcome back to Master the Blue Chai. Today we have a special guest. Some call her the Duchess of Disaster. Others cower in fear. All we know is her father doesn't call her, and she is here to defend her Yacht Girl days in another of our Royal Rants series. Okay, beautiful souls, we need to have a conversation. A real conversation. Because apparently, some people on the internet, and I'm looking at you, Dan Wooten, you want to be Australian, have completely misunderstood what being a yacht girl actually meant back in the day. And frankly, I'm tired of the slander. Let me paint you a picture of Cairns in the early 2000s, okay? Picture this. You're a 20-something actress. Yes, I said actress. If Linda Lovelace was an actress, I'm more than qualified. No, it's not whatever you're thinking, and you're trying to make it in Hollywood. Where do you go during film festival season? You go to where the films are being made. You go to where the producers are. And where were the producers? On boats. Beautiful, expensive boats anchored in the French Riviera. It wasn't some conspiracy, people. It was networking. And yes, we wore bikinis. Except when we didn't. Do you know why we wore bikinis? Because we were on boats. In the Mediterranean. In May. It was hot. It was sunny. What were we supposed to wear, parkas? Plus, and this is important, boats don't have pools. They have the actual ocean, which means your makeup doesn't run like it does around chlorinated water. Basic beauty logistics, people. We looked better in bikinis on boats than we would have in evening gowns around hotel pools. And another thing, we weren't carrying briefcases full of whatever you think we were carrying. We carried beach bags. Cute little Hermes beach bags with sunscreen and lip gloss and our headshots. Because again, networking. Acting, career building. Look, I get it. The term yacht girl has apparently evolved over the years. But back in my day, it literally just meant ambitious actress who knows where the industry parties are. It meant you were smart enough to figure out that Harvey Weinstein wasn't going to discover you at a Starbucks in Burbank. And everyone knows Harvey was safer on a boat than in a hotel. We were hungry. We were determined. We were young women with dreams who realized that sitting in casting offices waiting for our agents to call wasn't going to cut it. So we got on boats. We talked to producers. We looked amazing in bikinis because we were 23 and had metabolisms. And you know what? It worked. I met people. I made connections. I got my deal or no deal gig because I was willing to show up, look professional, albeit in swimwear, and actually talk to people in the industry instead of just waiting for opportunities to fall into my lap. But apparently, according to some royal friends, and I use that term loosely, this makes me what? A prostitute? Because I wore bikinis and networked aggressively? Because I understood that the entertainment industry runs on relationships and I was willing to build them? Honey, if being attractive and ambitious and knowing where the parties are makes you a prostitute, then half of Hollywood should be walking the streets. But they're not. They're walking red carpets. Because they understood the same thing I did. You go where the power is. And let me tell you something else about those boat parties. They were classy. There were actual films being discussed. Actual deals being made. I probably had more intellectual conversations on those yachts than I've ever had in my marriage. He is ginger after all, probably inbred. Hell, his father talks to plants and mother believed journalists. Bless, he had no chance. I mean, than I had in most of my many early relationships. Before I found my prince, obviously. The point is, being a yacht girl in 2004 meant you were a go-getter. It meant you understood that success doesn't just happen, you have to chase it. And if chasing it means looking fabulous in a bikini while discussing independent film financing with a producer from Miramax, then so be it. But no, apparently some people would rather I had stayed home, waited for my agent to call, auditioned for the same 3 casting directors in the same beige offices, and hoped that someday, maybe, I'd book a guest spot on a procedural drama. Well, guess what? I didn't wait. I got on those boats. I worked those parties. I made those connections. And yes, I look damn good doing it. Because that's what smart actresses do. So next time someone tries to shame me for being a yacht girl, just remember, that yacht girl ended up with a Netflix deal, a Spotify contract, and a literal prince. Meanwhile, all those actresses who were too good for boat parties, They're still waiting tables in West Hollywood. Sometimes the best networking happens in international waters, beautiful souls. And if you're not willing to get your feet wet, literally, then maybe you're not as serious about your dreams as you think you are. That's all for today's truth-telling session. Next week, we're going to discuss why industry events are actually work, not play, and why my tax deductions from those years were completely legitimate. Until then, keep sailing toward your dreams. Subscribe to Master the Blue Chai, not the Duchess, and complain vociferously in the comments.